Hey, good afternoon, everybody. You got Ira J. Ackery here on All Hands on Deck. Got my guest here, former gubernatorial candidate, Mr. Jonathan Todd. He's going to be co-hosting with me today. I want you to give him a thumbs up. We're happy to have him. He's a smart guy. He's an activist in the Austin community, and he's a very good friend of mine. Jonathan, we got a great show today, man.
I think we've got some hot topics going on today. It's a lot of newsworthy events happening.
Sure.
We got a mayoral election popping off. We got some congressmen saying some very heated, discussed things, and we got the Jessie Smollett case.
Yeah, Jessie Smollett. Listen, let me just share some things with you, and we want to hear from you. We're not going to monopolize this conversation, but first of all, why is Rahm Emanuel and Superintendent Eddie Johnson so mad about Jessie Smollett case being dropped? I mean, first of all, Rahm, I never seen him this mad in the entire 8 years. And then the police chief who went on a media blitz campaign, he called himself upset. Nobody asked him to go on Good America. Nobody asked him to go on CNN. He's the one that went out there and talked about an open case. Okay, but I also noticed, and from when I talk to people, I even heard on the radio, and I saw it on social media as well, some blacks are excited that Smollett was set free. I mean, some people are excited. I want to know why some of you blacks, I'm going to say like they used to tell us, why some of you people, why you are so excited about the young man being set free, because it's supposed to be an alleged hate crime that he's supposed to faked, talking about some homophobic hatred and racist hatred by people who pretend to be Make America Great again advocates. How do you feel? Do you resent the fact that a popular celebrity with resources can get away with maybe perpetuating a fake crime? How do you feel about Eddie Johnson? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it today. Let's start by saying, why is Ron so mad? That's the easy part. Let's talk about that. Why is he so mad?
You know, I think one of the things what we saw today, we saw white privilege be given to a black man. So I don't know. That could have made him a little bit mad.
Whoa! My co-host said we saw white privilege being given to a black man, and that made some of the establishment mad. If that is the case, white privilege given to a black man because he had green stuff.
Yeah, money make the world go around.
Yes,
we all
indeed.
know that.
Call in today. You can get on national TV today, 312-738-1060. All hands on deck. Caller, if you're there. All right, she's not ready yet. But anyway, thank you for calling in. Why are African Americans, many of them, so excited that the young man was set free? You just answered that. Why is Rahm so mad?
You know, I think one of the things is that, you know, I don't think they got the courtesy. They got blindsided like most of us. They was at a police graduation and they got the news just like us. So this is a big piece. You know, you know, we got the state's attorney dropped the charges, all charges. His record was sealed and expunged all in one day. So we got people that's in our community that can't get a job at a grocery store and trying to go years before an expungement, and this individual circumvented the process and got it all done in one day. Money talks.
Money talks. It is. It's amazing to me. Smollett is walking today because he had money. Some of Trump's people are walking today and have abbreviated and commuted sentences because they had money. So it seems like the judicial system works well for people who have the right skin color or have the right color in their pockets.
You know, we all know, and especially in the African American community, and that's one of the things that Ron was so mad. He said black today. He ain't say African American. He said black. But we all know the scales of justice, she peek up under up under her blindfold when it comes to us.
Sure.
We know that she looks down and say, oh, that's a black man. We about to get it to him.
Yeah.
So the rules don't apply to us. And today we saw the rules kind of switch. So it was a little bit different.
All right, real quick caller. Welcome to the show. You're on All Hands on Deck with Ira Ackley and my co-host Jonathan Todd. Speak loud.
Thank you for having me. This is Teresa Pastor. How you doing?
Hi, Teresa. Welcome to the show. Talk to me.
Yes. Thank you. Well, I am so happy that they dropped the charges because the superintendent Johnson and the mayor, they tried him in the media without giving him due process,
Sure.
going through the courts and things of that nature. And second of all, I think this is all just all about Kim Foxx trying to get her out of office with the FOP, trying to get the federal, with the feds. What Kim Foxx is doing. I think this is all about that, and so we have to be so careful. We got to stand behind Kim Foxx.
We got to stand behind Kim Foxx, she says. All right.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Thank you for calling in. You want to comment behind that?
Yeah, I can comment on that. I don't know. It's a flip side to this because, we saw Kim Foxx circumvent a couple cases.
Sure.
Has she tried a major case as of yet?
Mm-hmm.
This is the same justice that we saw with Van Dyke.
Comment well taken. But his sister, maybe she did the right thing to recuse herself, possibly. Now he walks, and now they don't have to necessarily point directly at Kim Foxx. She didn't do it.
Yeah, but the case was tainted out the gate. She called the family or had contact with the family. The FOP has been asking
Okay,
for.
listen, the phones are ringing off the hook.
Okay,
I want you to speak nice and loud, caller. Chicago needs to hear from you because this is a big deal. Welcome to the show, All Hands on Deck.
Thank you.
State your question or comment.
Okay, on the Jessie Smollett case, I would just like to comment that something about this whole thing stinks like bad fish.
Something stinks like bad fish. What don't you like about it?
Well, a couple of things. Like you said, how is it that all of a sudden they're just dropping the charges and they're not telling us why, or why are they dropping the charges?
Are you glad they dropped the charges, or do you think he should be in jail?
I have mixed emotions about that.
I can understand
that. He should be in jail because I don't think his crime was that severe.
Sure.
So I don't think he should be in jail, but I think he should.
There should be some level of punishment?
Yes, I think there should be some level of punishment.
Well, guess what?
Because these kinds of crimes are happening to people for real, and he wasted resources.
Sure.
Claiming that.
All right, we get the point. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Yeah, she says that there should be some penalty.
It should be some penalty.
And there was some penalty. He lost some money. Caller, welcome to the show. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hello, hi. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Talk to me.
Hi there. This is Eureka Jefferson.
Hi, Eureka.
Hi, how are you?
How do you feel about the case being dropped today? Charges.
I really don't have an opinion either way because you know what? There were a lot of resources that were diverted to him and this case itself. And as you said, Eddie Johnson went on a whole media blitz without having everything in place. I look at everything that's happening in the city of Chicago. I myself was a victim of gun violence in 2016, shot in the chest in my living room. There was no type of manhunt. There was nothing. These people are still out on the streets walking. We have our young women that have come up missing and things like that. And what infuriates me the most, these politicians and Eddie Johnson and different ones sit up in an office, and we have to live past it. For those of us, like I said, myself, I was fortunate enough and blessed by God to be able to survive, because that night at Mount Sinai, they told my family I was gone. But God seemed fit to do otherwise and to help me to get stronger. But at the same token, I had to leave my city that I grew up with and grew up in, like I did something in the middle of the night. Whereas we have these elected officials sitting there giving all this publicity and time and resources to celebrities, and for this outcome to come. And from what I was hearing, I'm not for sure, but they said that money, that the $10,000 that he gave us for the to be, bail, for his bond, is gonna go back to the city of Chicago.
Well, let me say this, Eureka. I really appreciate you calling. I understand your frustration and your aggravation. They spent a lot of resources. Now, I got on television, and I made some statements about how foolish it was to spend all of these resources, John, on this case. We want to see this kind of passion and anger when sisters like Eureka get shot at.
We need the same level of resources put into our community.
Thank you for your call, man.
And we got crimes that's being committed in our community and that had never been solved. And
Absolutely.
They still on the books, and we don't see detectives running around. We don't see them looking at footage or anything like that. We had a crime over the weekend, and they caught the guy within hours or two, and now we got a hate crime.
Homicide clearance rate is 17%. For those of you that don't understand that means the murder solving rate is only 17%. Out of 100 murders, only 17 get solved. That means if I get shot today, there's an 83% chance that the killer will be running free. Come on, Superintendent Johnson. Get some anger about that. Okay, caller, we got another caller? Caller, welcome to the show. You're on All Hands on Deck. Speak loud and state your comment or question.
Okay, this is Arlene Jones of the Austin Weekly News.
All right, we got a real reporter in the house. How you doing, Arlene?
Fine. A reminder that when Bill Cosby went around and was critiquing black people for not living up to some of the goals and gains that Dr. King had fought for, and he started talking about morality, they reopened his sealed records. So should Jessie Smollett start running his mouth about how innocent he is, those sealed records should be able to be open as well. I would like to point out that a sealed record is hiding something.
Very much
we
so.
need to be asking Kim Foxx why she sealed this record.
So let me ask you a question. I'm glad, this is great to talk to a reporter. How do you feel about Kim Foxx's action, and then how do you feel about the superintendent and the mayor's response in the press conference today?
I am not mad, and I hate Rahm Emanuel, but I liked his response. I talked to several cops, and they told me the reason Jessie Smollett got all of that attention was because he was A, a celebrity, B, it was the homosexual, and C, it was because it was a hate crime.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And if nobody hadn't did anything, everybody would have been screaming to high heaven.
Well, you know what, Arlene? Honestly, you should know by now, I'm not a fan of Rahm Emanuel. I kind of give Rahm a pass. I really do. But Superintendent Johnson, I guess I got a little personal gripe with this guy because of some decisions he personally made on the police department. So I thank you for your comment.
They call him Eddie Winslow.
Arlene, anything else you'd like to add? All right, next caller. Welcome to the show. Caller? Okay, we're having a little technical difficulties, but it is hot in the town. Caller, you ready?
I'm ready.
Speak loud and state your comment or question. We're talking about Smollett in the studio today. How do you feel about his charges being dropped? You're trying to watch the television, it's tape delayed. Look at us or just talk to us on the telephone. How do you feel about the charges being dropped? Okay, well, caller, Welcome to the show.
Yes, I feel that Jessie Smollett has been given a second chance to get it right. Although he's been found not guilty, I just think maybe it's lack of evidence against him.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my feeling towards it.
How did you feel when you saw Rahm Emanuel and the superintendent, jumping up and down?
Well, I feel like, as far as that goes, even with the superintendent, they paid so much attention to him being guilty, more so than they did with Van Dyke when he was convicted. And I think it was unfair, but at the same time, I'm not really mad neither because he kind of put himself in this position. So.
Now, I get you. I appreciate us hearing both sides of the story. Thank you so much. Real quick.
No problem.
Thank you for calling. Real quick. The comments that Bobby Rush made. He made the comments that if anybody supports Lori Lightfoot, the next time, because of her relationship with police board, the next time a black person is killed, the blood's going to be on their hands. That was some type of indictment. What do you think?
You know what
What's
I
your
think?
comments?
My comment about it is that you want to know what's wrong with black politics in the city of Chicago?
Talk to me.
It's because we got people like Bobby Rush that we vote by name and not by the deeds that they doing. If we look around those communities that he represents, he should be ashamed of himself. He should truly be ashamed of himself. If you go up down some of these corridors and you see him call himself representing that, he should be ashamed of himself.
Is it safe to say that
His time is up.
Also, is it safe to say if people who supported Lori Lightfoot, blood's going to be on their hands the next time there's a police shooting? Is it also safe to say that these empty lots and no contracts and all the violence, is it safe to say the people who put Bobby back in office, is that economic disinvestment, blood on their hands?
I think it's these type of politics we don't need no more.
Okay.
That scare tactic, those things like that. If you vote this way, you vote that way.
Right.
You know what? In politics, ain't no common enemies. It's common interests.
Right. No permanent
enemies.
No permanent friends.
That's true too.
Yep.
So if that's where he wanted, if a person want to vote for Tony Preckwinkle, if a person want to vote for Lori Lightfoot,
vote your choice.
Vote your choice. I think what we seeing is the old guard and the new guard, and got to be careful because this Jessie Smollett may come back and hurt Tony. It may come back and hurt him.
312-738-1060. Call in. We got a caller. Phone is ringing off the hook. We hope to get to all of our calls today. Caller, welcome to the show. Speak loud and clear.
This is Vitra's voice.
Beatrice,
Hey,
how
Beatrice.
you doing? Come on. We got one of the leading activists in the city. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be a part of your show. You switched the question up on me. We went from Jessie to...
You could talk about either one.
But you know what? I prefer to talk about the Bobby Rush issue.
Okay.
Because it really bothered me that he would even make such a comment regarding Lori Lightfoot, being that he's been a sitting elected official since I was a kid.
Yes.
The areas that he governed still look devastated. The bloodshed on the street is ridiculous. The unsolved murders is out of control. The abandoned buildings, the poverty within itself, the closed schools. You sat and you watched this happen. The bloodshed is not because of the things that Lori Lightfoot did, but it's because of the resources that they block from our community on a consistent basis year after year. We're so behind till it's hard to get ahead. And for him to point a finger at her when he's a sitting congressman, a legislator, somebody that can sponsor laws and push them through the system, and he has not done so on behalf of black people, shame on him. And the fact that he would even stand up for a daily, again, knowing how they devastated our communities in the prior election is even more devastating. So I think what he's done is he's put a foot up his you-know-what when it comes to his next election. And I hope Black America is listening to every word that comes out of his mouth. The bloodshed is on his hands, and every elected official that's been sitting there doing nothing about it, saying nothing about it year after year, while our kids die and mothers cry.
That was very powerful. Now let me ask you, maybe he had a motivation for going all the way. Maybe he was trying to redeem himself for voting or for supporting and endorsing Daley. Maybe that was the tactic or his motivation. What do you think?
He should have redeemed himself by saying nothing. Tony is also a part of what's been happening in our communities. He did enough when he endorsed Daley. He should have just went somewhere, sat down, and tried to redeem himself by pushing policy, laws, and resources in the community in which he served.
Absolutely. Real quick.
He more so hurt her.
Mm-hmm. Give us a prediction. Next week, there will be a new mayor. Who will be the new mayor, and what will be the percentage? 5% swing, 10%, 2%?
You know what? It's hard to predict elections in Chicago. We may see one thing, but on that day, it could be a complete turnaround. So I'm not one to predict that. But what I will say is that I'm voting for Lori Lightfoot. From what I hear on the street, the people voting for Lori Lightfoot because they want change.
Thank you. Thank you, Beatrice. We really appreciate you. And you're really making the case that many people that I'm running into, they say if you look at how your life has been the last several years. If you want more of the same, then you vote for Preckwinkle.
That's right.
If you want change, if you need something new, you got to get on the good foot with Lori Lightfoot. Yep. Thank you so much, Beatrice.
Appreciate your call.
Okay, sure.
All right. These phones are ringing off the hook. We're going to talk a little bit more with you. If somebody else wants to call in, we'll take a couple more calls. 312-738-1060. Feel free to call right now because we're getting ready to run out of time. 312-738-1060. Call right now. Well, what's your prediction next week about the mayoral election?
You know, it's always hard to say with Chicago and the type of politics we play, you know, but I don't see the machine turning out them numbers like they used to.
But you know, though Tony went underground.
She got
money that would have been on television ads.
And put it on the streets. Put it on the streets, and they pulling some tricks.
Yeah.
They pulling some tricks.
And I hope they're not doing something real diabolical like going to these war commitments and making deals with them, but that's something else. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, you know, that's the Chicago way, but what I think Lori will win, and I think she may have a 20% victory. That's my prediction. 20%.
Whoa. Lori Lightfoot, a 20%
and that will be a clear-cut message to the machine because you took out Barrios. Now you just hit the party boss, which Ron made a clear-cut message, I do believe today, that's saying that it was a whitewash of justice today.
As we said.
And that's Tony's girl. That's Tony's girl.
Expound on that.
When I say Tony girl, everybody know that Kim Foxx is a protege of Tony Preckwinkle, and if political strategist, pardon me, if I was Lori people, I'd tie this whole Jessie thing and him not being tried right to Tony.
Could be dangerous because
it could
as
be.
As you heard one of the callers called in, Kim is a superstar in African American politics among a certain generation.
Among a certain generation, but among a lot of people, we asking, what has she done?
Yeah, but you know, it's kind of risky.
It is kind of risky.
I don't know if I go that far with it. But anyhow, it's awesome. I heard Teresa just called, and she also stated on our live that the Democratic machine is on life support.
And it can be taken out.
Yeah. The only thing about it, Toni Preckwinkle, what I resent about her, it seems I appreciate a person who works hard, tremendous work ethic, and pretty much has kept her office and administration kind of, free from a lot of scandal. Yeah, of course she's did a lot of things that I didn't like to do. She was friends with certain people, but her office has pretty much been okay. It's been for politics here in Cook County, you know.
Yeah, she had some things with the campaign manager, and one was the driver, sexual harassment.
Facebook person get on there.
Yeah, and then you had the white supremacy thing, different things like that. She had her scandal, and you know, she shook things up. But I think it'd be a clear-cut message if she lost.
Yeah. Only thing I really resent about that campaign is she seems to have become who she fought against. She was a progressive. She was a person who was against the machine, and now she has become a machine. She sides with the machine. She sided with Barrios. She became an enabler for the guy who played the reverse Robin Hood tax assessment type game, robbing from the poor, charging them skyrocketed prices for real estate property taxes, and then gave tax breaks to the wealthy.
And many blacks lost their homes.
Many did.
Many blacks.
Listen, it's been great. We are out of time. We always have a blast. Listen, this is the last show of the season. When we come back, we'll have a new mayor, and hopefully you guys will do the right thing. And we're going to say good night, but I hope you will remember to bring in the light.
Thank you.
Take care.